Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Gosu Cup, brought to you by Razer. My name is Totalbiscuit, commentating this matchup right here between Darkcell, aka Langley, in the orange trunks. He is playing Zerg right here on the Metalopolis, versus his opponent, the one and only Mover. He's in the blue trunks, and he is playing Terran. Is that blue? Is it sort of lightish purple? Does anyone really care? Probably not. Doesn't seem particularly relevant to the balance of this particular matchup, although I can think of a few people that might argue otherwise. But then again, they will argue about everything whatsoever. Unfortunately for Darkcell, he's not going to get some easy scouting information. They are not spawning in the close air positions. You can see them across the map right there. Nice far bit of running to go for that one. I have not had the pleasure to cast any of these guys, in fact. I've cast Soke a lot, I've cast Nurchio quite a bit. All sorts of great players involved there. Cast a bit of Spades in the IPL. In this case, no, I've not cast Mover, and I've never cast Darkcell before. So, Darkcell actually qualified after Hawk had to drop out of the tournament due to his participation in GSL Code S. So he ended up getting through there. And the question is, will he be able to deal with Mover? Certainly not unknown players by any stretch of the imagination, but not the kind of players I usually cast. So I'm looking forward to seeing what actually comes up from them. Bit of scouting action going on right here. I would expect to see a, well, you might think a hatchery, but then again, he hasn't actually got a huge amount of minerals, so this could be spawning pool first. We'll find out. No, there we go. Hatchery on 15, which is pretty standard against Terran, to be honest. And it's a double barracks opening right here from Mover, which will be scouted by Darkcell. The question is, will he be able to repulse it? More to the point. There we go, double barracks, he sees it almost immediately. It's a good wall-off option, and it's a good option for early aggression as well. However, it is open to harassment, as you can see right here. Darkcell almost takes the SCV out and driven away as Mover is forced to pull not one but two in order to deal with that. First barracks up, and the second barracks now on the way. Here comes the quick scout and the engagement. Mover doesn't really need to pull too many SCVs off the line. He's unable to catch that drone from Darkcell, and I don't really blame him for not actually pursuing that as a waste of time. Spawning pool coming down right here for Darkcell, and a hatchery on 15, no big surprises there. Hatchery on 15 could be a little tricky to defend, unless he starts to get some spine crawlers down for that. Mover already going with the double marine approach to get a little bit of aggression on, and also you notice that Darkcell is going to hang on to this Zelnaga Watchtower. They have plenty of warning as they come in, and as soon as that creep goes down and the spawning pool is complete, I would expect to see at least one spine crawler going down there to deal with that double barracks early pressure. Plenty of Marines coming out right now for Mover. We can see the army count, supply-wise, it's 5-0, which is to be expected. You don't usually get anything out initially to deal with this aside from the spine crawler if you've gone for the 15 hatchery. It's exactly what Langley is doing. And I don't know if Mover will actually bother to push forward with this. His mineral count's actually getting very high, so I have to assume he's going to you see, I completely forgot the word I was going to say. He's going to transmute into a, oh god. Yes, he's going to transition into an expansion nice and early on. It starts building at about 4.5 minute mark. Nothing wrong with that. Mover can poke a little bit, do a little bit of damage, and it also gives him plenty of Marines to cover this expansion right here. That spine crawler coming down, which is going to make matters a little bit tricky for those Marines. However, they should be able to bypass it. Its positioning is not amazing. I would think maybe you'd lose one Marine if he decided to go into his opponent's base, and there's barely any defense here aside from those two queens. There should be enough Marines to actually push their way through there. 9 Marines on the field already rolling out with 7. This could get a little bit messy right here for Darkcell. Second spine crawler going down at the back, repositioning now, which actually makes it a lot easier to get through. However, this can be repulsed if he's able to block the ramp with those two queens, who are now out of position. Will he be able to get there in time? Yes, he will. And he's going to prevent them from going up the ramp, which is a very smart thing to do. You wouldn't want those in your base. Not at all. Nice way of dealing with the 2 barracks aggression, and Mover will now back away. He's going to get this sorted out, get his expansion all dealt with. He does have a factory coming up as well, so we'll see what he decides to do with that. I would expect to maybe see some tanks coming out. There's quite a few spine crawlers down there, although it is possible to roll past there with hellions, so that's another option for him. He's got a lot of flexibility right now. Gonna have a look at the work supply count, and needless to say, it is heavily in favor of Darkcell. 39 work supply, 225. That's pretty damn significant. You see the drone count right there. That's a big drone spawn right there. That's almost an Idra-style drone spawn. Hey, he's not doing anything. Let's spawn 5 million drones. We're looking at 31 to 25. Bear in mind that worker supply also includes queens, so that's a little bit of a problem when you happen to be reading those, and that's a double factory approach coming up right here. Will this be Infernal Pre-Igniter Hellion? Does he have what he needs to make that happen? He's got one tech lab coming down. That could be indicative of Infernal Pre-Igniter. He does have 2 refineries up there. He'll have the gas for Infernal Pre-Igniter, plus the reactor on that one. We'll have to see what he decides to do. And also, Barracks now moved down to the bottom, a nice little defensive wall off, plus a bunker, so he's pretty secure right now. I'd like to point out just how well spread all of these overlords actually are right here for Darkcell. He's got a good, and I do mean a good view of the map. Spinning all the way around there. If any kind of Banshee harassment or drops come in, he's going to have early warning, so he shouldn't be in too much of a problem. Although, as we can quite clearly see, we're not going to get any drops from Mover just yet, because that's another barracks going down, not a starport. So we're not looking for Infernal Pre-Igniter drop. Nicely pushed away right there, and scouting information denied. There comes the supply depot as well. And this area is fairly well defended. The question is, what exactly is Darkcell planning on doing? Evolution Chamber is coming down. It's a double Evolution Chamber approach, and we're also looking for a lair plus Baneling Nest. Bear in mind that +2 attack on Banelings is very, very unpleasant indeed. Really, really nasty. Can do a hideous amount of damage. Should be able to melt through SCVs, I believe, in one hit. So that's dangerous. In the meantime, however, Mover is already prepared. He's got 4 Infernal Pre-Igniter Hellions. He's not actually bothered to put the reactor on that just yet. I have to wonder if he'll commit too much to this strategy, or if he'll decide, well, you know what, we're just going to pump out a few, and we'll see how it goes. Look at that. Look at the amount of Zerglings all over the map. Great map control right here. Almost even placement, and excellent creep spread coming up right here for Darkcell as well. Taking control of this area of the map to make sure he's got that mobility. And he, as you can see, is very late on that metabolic boost. So if Hellions do happen to come in now, this could prove to be problematic. It depends just how long Mover decides to hang around and stay stationary. Starport now coming down for Mover, so it might be a drop, at least later on. He's not going to bother with it just now. And this is an Infernal Pre-Igniter plus a Marine push. And Army Supply is heavily in favor of Mover right now. However, that scouting information was just gained. The question is, does Darkcell have enough to actually push this away? At the moment, he certainly does not. He does have Banelings on the way, but his speed upgrade is still not complete. It's not going to be finished for another 20 seconds at least. And if Mover actually goes in now, he's going to have a great advantage. Pushing forward once again, wherever those spine crawlers positioned. That is a hefty little wall off right there. It's going to be a little bit dicey. You can see the Banelings coming in right now. And the question is, what will Mover be able to do? A good scan right there. Eliminates a few creep tumors. And here comes the push. As Mover pushes his way forward. And a little bit of fire brought down those Baneling cocoons, but bare minimum damage done. And Mover has to be very careful with this creep spread all the way up this ramp. This is going to be very dangerous for him. Even with the mobility of those Hellions, it's still a little bit dicey. Massive spawn in right here. However, Darkcell still lagging behind in terms of his army supply count. More Hellions, and we've got siege tanks on the field. And the siege tank upgrade plus stim is on the way. No stim, which is not that helpful for this push if he decides to go in right now. Single Zergling is distracting the entire army of Mover right now, and I have to wonder just how smart that actually was. He could have maybe picked off a few more shots right here, but this is very well defended. This entire area is going to be extremely easy to get a good surround on those Hellions, so he doesn't want to go in there right now. And honestly, he is at least bottling Darkcell in his base, so it's not too bad an idea. However, Darkcell's managed to get an expansion thanks to that excellent creep spread right here. Here come the Hellions, but how much damage will they really be able to do? Pretty much nothing to the building armor of the hatchery. Here come the Banelings, looking for the surround right now, and Darkcell, is he able to grab it? He looks for it! Can he get it? Yes, he's looking. Oh, maybe not! There you go, and as it happens, Mover able to dodge out of the way and deal huge damage. Banelings used on 2 Hellions. That was extremely wasteful, and I thought he had it. Mover cornered right there, but excellent maneuvering ensures that does not happen. Dicey, very, very dicey. Zerg melee attack upgrade level 2 and ground carapace level 2 coming up right now for Darkcell, and he's got to gain a very significant upgrade advantage. I mean, he's already got a pretty good one. He's got +1/+1. In the meantime, however, those Hellions will continue to harass. The question is, will that large force of Zerglings be able to run its way through there and hit that line? I don't think so. Not without Baneling support. He needs to get himself the Baneling mobility upgrade as well. Centrifugal hooks, that would be very helpful for him. In the meantime, once again, yet more harassment. Look at the amount of damage he's able to do with this group. Well worth it. And there you go. He actually does have centrifugal hooks. I did miss that upgrade. My apologies for that. Still, though, Darkcell hanging around. Here comes the drop. How damaging can that be? It could be extremely dangerous. Admittedly, with the amount of creep spread, at least he does have a large amount of mobility, but that main base is not well defended at all. Looking for another expansion. Here comes Mover. However, look at this. Look at this positioning. This is really, really great stuff because he's going to see this coming a mile away. Mover pushing forward, and now Mover securing this, and that's a lot of missile turrets to defend against nothing at all. Absolutely no sight whatsoever of any kind of air unit, so that is very questionable, if I'm totally honest. He hasn't maxed out his army count yet, so that's 400 minerals thrown away. In the meantime, however, Mover is pushing forward with a very significant force. He does have the siege tanks. Will he be able to do enough damage to these banelings as they try to flank around the side? And here they come! Right into the more of the tanks. That's not good. However, look at that deployment. That isn't good at all. Mover losing 1, 2, and 3. Charging into the line right now. Marine's taking a hefty amount of damage. Does he have enough banelings left to clean up? Doesn't look like he does, and Mover's able to hold that one, but that still was unnecessarily dangerous. And in the meantime, look at what Langley's managed to do, aka Darkcell. He cleans out those missile turrets and the SCVs as well. No defenses available. In the meantime, looking for a base trade right here. Here comes the trade. A lot of shelling coming in, actually doing a lot of damage to his own Marines. Here come the banelings. He's got to get out of there. He must get out of there. And a very nice pick up and go there by Mover, getting them out of the way. And Darkcell almost grabbing them. Very unpleasant. Ooh, that sounds like more banelings and more morphing in on the way. More Zerglings, here we go. There's a charge. Mover's not moving. Why? Why, Mover? Why you no move? I have no idea, because this is what's happening to Mover's main base. This is the panic. +2, +2 upgraded Zerglings ramming their way through the defenses of Mover, and there's very little left of that. That was nasty. A secondary attack could do huge damage to this. Another wave, perhaps. Right now, let's have a look at the economy. It's looking very, very nice right now. Very good indeed. This expansion was denied for the time being, and this expansion was held. Economic advantage firmly in the hands of Darkcell. Army supply count is looking equal, and it will quickly be outnumbered. Bear in mind, with that Marine tank force, Infestors would do huge damage here. Doesn't really need them for the time being, because look at that, +2 upgraded Zerglings and Banelings will chew through pretty much anything. And if I'm totally honest, the upgrade count is not looking good for Mover, i.e. he doesn't have any. No vehicle upgrades. And no upgrades for the Marines either. They cannot match that kind of force, especially bearing in mind that Darkcell can easily replace the losses, whereas Mover is not in that kind of position. He didn't build the planetary fortress there early either, which really didn't help. Mover on the way, that's a 7 drop, but once again, Langley's, aka Darkcell, is going to see that coming a mile away. That is dicey. I really, really would not want to get involved in drop play against this. We've got another drop right there. It was easily countered there. However, is he going to see this coming? He must have seen it. Here comes the interception. There's nothing that's going to happen here. No way, especially not with those banelings. Hell, he might even lose the medevac if he's not careful. Taking a lot of ground fire right here from that Queen. Second Queen moves in to try and do it. However, the creep spread is not around the rest of his base, so he doesn't really have the mobility. In the meantime, Mover with a bit of a standoff right here. 4 Marines versus that many Zerglings and Banelings. No chance whatsoever. Mover's in a bit of a dicey situation, to say the least. A quick pickup, and I would be very surprised to see Darkcell continue with the strategy of not having any real anti-air. He really needs to deal with that, and there comes the Spire, just as I say that. And the Infestors as well. Infestors will be ideal for that, but look at that, 101 Zerglings on the field. We're looking at almost army cap. 59 Banelings as well. This is enough to just run through everything Mover has right now. It really, really is. That's a good amount of siege tanks, but still, the amount of damage that's going to be inflicted by that is immense. Driving him away right there, which is a smart thing to do. Wants to try and deny that map control that has been, honestly, in the hands of Darkcell this entire game. Oh, but here, very, very quick. Once again, he needs some anti-air. He needs to do something about that, because he keeps losing all sorts of opportunities. Have a look at that. You'll see that Darkcell has secured his 4th base, 3rd expansion. No problems for him whatsoever. Army supply heavily in favor of him. And of course, the economy rolling quite nicely. This base is nicely defended. Doesn't need to worry too much about that for the moment, or does he? A planetary fortress and a single siege tank might not actually be enough, especially with the +2 upgrade. That's a huge amount of damage that can actually do. Massive, massive damage. Oh, wow. In the meantime, no drops for you, I'm afraid. Absolutely not. Mover not able to really do anything, and it looks like Mover is finally deciding to push out. This could be very dicey, considering there come the Banelings. Here comes the charge. Can he do it? Oh, that's a lot of SCVs down. He's not able to take the planetary fortress, or can he? I think he can. He can. There's the charge, and down it goes. Look at that single Baneling. Just waiting around to celebrate the victory. Oh, and here comes the charge from the side. No deployment for Mover. Oh, God, it's a Terran's worst nightmare. Nothing left. Nothing left. Darkcell decimates it. That's to be expected. Good God, caught out in the middle of nowhere. Mover staying a little bit too mobile. A quick drop right here to try and deny the 5th base. But does he really care? Probably not after that. Look at that army supply comparison. And the amount of units that are coming in as well. 22 more banelings, more Zerglings coming on the field, and that's really all he needs right now. Would be nice to maybe get a Corruptor out or a couple of Muters just to try and pick off those Medivacs who are, let's be honest, being a little bit of a pest, but still, the economic damage inflicted on Mover is going to be very hard to come back from. As you can see right there, rebuilding his third base, second expansion. The entirety of the map has been denied. Otherwise, looking for a little bit of drop play. It doesn't matter. Darkcell is ready for it. Another wave of banelings, another wave of Zerglings coming in. We do have siege tanks deployed. That's going to be a bit messy, but he's going to charge up regardless. Here we go. Looking to try and get out of range of the siege tanks. It's going to take huge damage. He goes in. Oh! Plows his way through it. The Zerg bulldozer action going on right now. No expansion for you. It's not happening. You can't have it. That's 2 times that CC has been blown up. We're looking for the 3rd time lucky, but you know that's not going to happen. Not right now. Darkcell in complete control of this game up until this point, dictating the pace. Might end up losing a queen, which is probably his only major loss up to this point. Here comes the swarm. Is he able to get us around? He can. Do quite a bit of damage right here. Still a lack of upgrades, not really helping Mover one little bit. He's able to hold that, but Darkcell could clean that up if he wanted, but he's not actually going to bother with that right now. Looking for yet more banelings rolling out. Honestly, he's in the kind of situation where he could clean up. He does have an army supply advantage. Mover is out of position, once again rolling forward. There we go, that drop cleaned up. Here comes that single baneling to try and finish it off. It does the job, and down it goes. Once again, Mover's multitasking doesn't seem to be up to this. Mover rolling forward with everything he's got. He's able to at least use those couple of Infernal Pre-Ignited Hellions. Oh, and he spots the burrowed banelings. That could have been really unpleasant. A good scan right there. Surprised doesn't accompany it with a Raven, but look at what's coming. And those Hellions won't be able to hold against that kind of firepower. It's not going to happen. The siege tanks don't even get deployed in time. Once again, a cleanup. Here come the banelings from the side. Oh my god. Talk about overkill. GG. Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. And the first game of this best of 3 series does go to the one and only Darkcell. We'll be right back in just a few short moments, folks. Don't go anywhere.